What's up, guys? Welcome to another episode of Life is Cooler with AC. I am your host, Alex Cunningham, and today, I know it looks like a giant man, but believe it or not, he's my size. The camera just adds 16 inches. I don't know what's going on there.
I am not your size.
This is my good friend Ryan Shields. What's up, Ryan?
What's going on?
Oh, man, trying to drink some beer. You guys missed it. We were talking about whiskeys and beers and stuff. So today we're going to try, you said you have not had Austin Amber?
No.
From Independence?
I've had an Amber from Austin.
Right. Not as tasty as you would think, huh?
No.
I think it was sour. But so this one is out of Independence Brewing Company, Austin, Texas. And for an Amber, it's actually a 6%, which is pretty high.
Yeah.
You know, I thought that was pretty neat. So how's it taste?
About like Amber from Austin. Little tart.
Well, that's not bad. That's actually real crisp.
No, that's not bad at all.
Yeah, no, I like ambers and lagers and, you know, like all the good shit. Not the light shit, but the good shit, you know, light in color. You know.
Not a Bud Light fan, are you?
Well, you know,
come on, get canceled, Alex. Get canceled right away. Come on.
That's what's funny is like people are like, oh, you know, it's gay, it's this and that, and I'm like, it's always been, you know,
yeah.
Like I've literally always hated Bud Light, not for the beer, but or not for the queer, but you know, the beer.
Yeah,
you know, like it's just the beer sucks.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's like that girl you don't want to call at 2 o'clock in the morning, but you're horny anyway.
Right.
You just don't want anybody to see you drink it.
You
know you've done it.
Oh, yeah. No, like that always pisses me off when people, like I did a show in California, in LA a couple weeks ago, and the guy was like, whatever you want, you know, and I was like, all right, what is your best, you know, I don't know, local, you know, stout, log, like I don't care, fucking anything, and he was like, Bud Light. And I was like, I guess that's what I'll have then.
That's your best local?
That was all that he had. He literally had no other beer. And I was like, what a dick. Just be like, I only got one thing.
Wow.
But he's like, tell me what you want, and I'll make it happen. And I was like, all right, you dickhead.
Tell me what you want.
Yeah. I was like, this is definitely not it. But I was like, it makes sense because we're in Hollywood right now.
That's like doing close-up magic with one card. Pick a card. Is it Ace of Spades?
You
Holy
fucking
shit.
nailed it. So, have you been out to LA doing shows yet?
Oh.
I know you've been doing this shit for 50 years.
Yep.
So.
I mean, yeah, a few years ago I did, but you got to be out there in that grind.
Yeah.
Like, that's not a place you visit.
Yeah, no, not at all. Well, I don't know. It's hard. Oh, I forgot to mention. See, this is my problem. We talked about the beer. If you guys want to donate to have us try anything, you can make a donation. Fuck you, Ryan. This is my time now.
Oh, I forgot.
You
I interrupted your homeless man spiel. Say, man, y'all got some cigarettes y'all can send to Alex?
If you would like us to try a beer or a whiskey or whatever, you can make a donation to Venmo at Life is Cooler or on Cash App, the money sign with AC2 Productions, and just tell us what you want us to try. All right, thanks, guys. Anyway, no, LA's a hard place because you have to know people because it's very, which I mean, Austin's getting that way too, but it's very like gatekeeper type, you know.
Yeah, I mean, well, and also Austin's a lot easier to get to. I mean, if I lived close to L.A., it wouldn't be that big of a deal, but it's... Do you mind if I vape?
Yeah, go for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
Well, you already told me you like Bud Light, so I figured it was coming.
This is our pride show.
Right.
Talking about Bud Light and vaping.
Oh, man. Last week...
June is coming up. You post this in June. This will be your pride show.
I feel like this is like an overlapping topic. Last week, you know Seth Bryan, and he was like, so let's talk about the trans. Okay. And I was like, oh, all right. Yeah, well, it's weird because like that's what's like pop culture right now, right?
Yeah.
But you remember COVID, obviously. But it's like you couldn't have a conversation without people being like, oh yeah, the virus and this and that, and like it's turning into this. What is that called? Whenever it would like morph into another.
A variant?
Yeah. So it's like now we're just talking about
the Omicron and the...
Right, yeah, exactly. Now we're talking about like the dick be gone, you know, of like the trans community. So it's like it feels like every conversation has a different tinge of, you know, like sexuality, you know, and I don't know why.
Well, do you know something that I noticed that people aren't talking about? Trans men.
Yeah. like women 2-man?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've seen it.
Yeah, but name a famous one.
Yeah.
You know what I'm talking about? Nobody's talking about trans men being in sports. Nobody's talking about trans men.
Well, of course not. Because, I mean, it's still you can grow a beard, but you still aren't going to fucking be able to be a running back in the NFL. You know what I mean? Like, how are you going to take one of those fucking 250-pound linebackers? You're not going to be able to do it.
Right.
Yeah. What sport could you play?
Badminton. You can take that men's table tennis team all the way to China.
Then you'll be the same size as the men.
They cheat. She have no ball. It's going to be Lance Armstrong all over again. No nuts. He's faster.
Now, would you get in trouble, though, for juicing? Because you're taking tests?
Yeah.
I mean, would that flag?
I don't know, because I don't think they test for estrogen, though, right? Because that's not considered like a performance-enhancing drug, but testosterone is?
Right, yeah, exactly. Yeah, nobody's being like, oh, are you taking the bitch?
Yeah,
you know, like you trying to turn
your soy's a little high there, buddy.
Right.
Nobody gives a shit.
Yeah, but if you're doing testosterone, I mean, I feel like that would be, cheating.
Yeah, I wonder if they would get flagged, though.
Yeah, I don't know.
Huh.
If we have any ladies turning into a man on here, please tell us if you can join the NBA.
Let us know how it's going for you.
Yeah, yeah. Put in the comments. I'm sure you're still following along here.
We didn't lose you already.
Well, it's funny because we have several trans people in the comedy community, like in Temple and stuff. And the other day, one got on stage and was like, Alex makes me feel really secure in, like my gender. Aside from that Adam's melon he's got on his throat. And I was like, that's actually funny because I've never.
Adam's melon?
Yeah, because it's so big.
Is it big or is it normal size?
I don't know. What yours look like? Nah, you don't have a. Okay.
Yeah.
Now it all makes sense.
Look at me. You think my Adam's apple is going to be poking out?
No, I get.
Big guys famously have protruding Adam's apples.
Yeah, no, that's just how masculine I am. Is that it just lets people know.
Yeah.
Like it sticks out further than my penis does.
Yeah, that's pretty normal for like smaller guys or skinnier guys. You can really see it, but I can also grow a beard too, so it's
it's a little give and take.
I've just got all this other man shit on my face. You don't.
Yeah, but see, that's the thing.
You look at me, you're like, I don't think I need to look for an Adam's apple. I'm pretty sure he's got everything else covered.
That's what's so hard though, because like. The women are being able to grow beards now. I mean, I know my mom's biological mom, she's got a beard, and she's not even transitioning. She's just super white trash.
Oh.
So, it does happen.
Hey, back in the day when I was, this is a long time. How old are you?
Mm-hmm.
How old are you?
I never say.
Oh. How old are you, though?
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, you don't want people to know how old you are?
Yeah, that's like, watch every episode on here. It literally comes up, and it's a mystery.
Do you remember Saturday morning cartoons?
Cartoons still play on Saturday morning, so yes.
Okay. So before you were born, I'm going to take a guess that because I know your wife, and she's not exactly walking around on crutches.
Not yet. Wait till I'm done with her.
Wait till you pump some estrogen in you.
Performance drug.
I'm going to bang you like a 13-year-old lesbian.
Oh, that sounds horrible, but funny to watch, but so bad.
Oh, what the fuck is... Oh, yeah, I was a cashier at Walmart.
Uh-huh.
And I would have
so when they had cashiers.
Yeah, yeah, like that's how old I am.
Yeah.
And I would have women come through, and they would have darker 5 o'clock shadow than me.
Oh, yeah.
And this was before, like, they were just, naturally juiced up like that.
And
so
that was Texas, though, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, that makes sense, because even the women here are men. So.
We grow them different here.
Yeah. Everything's bigger in Texas, even my wife's beard.
Okay, since you don't want to talk about your age, do you remember in the 80s, it used to be like this running joke that Russian women were always like burly and, had beards and, because the 80s, the Russians got in trouble for their women juicing. And now, all of their women are just fucking models.
Oh, really?
And our women are starting to look like they're juicing testosterone. So it's like we flipped it.
Yeah. We need to go back to the Cold War. Yeah, maybe that's the problem with modern society. We don't have the fear of invasion anymore.
Yeah, I mean, that's like that, mutually assured destruction type thing that we went through. That they're gonna fuck with Ukraine, but they're gonna talk shit, but they're not gonna fuck with us.
Right? Exactly.
Why would you?
Yeah. So you don't have to always be sharp. You know what I mean? Like, imagine if you carried around a knife and you're like, I'm never really gonna need it, so you're not gonna take care of it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's the same thing. You don't keep yourself sharp because you don't. Who cares?
Right.
So, like, before, we needed our women to be, ready to seduce, like the Nazis when they came over, so then that way we could infiltrate them a different way. And our men had to be masculine, so then that way they could fuck them up, after they fuck their wives. So there are so many different, we don't have that anymore.
Now our soldiers just have to be really good at video games.
Exactly, like, yeah. Because someone's already fucking their wife.
Yeah, and our women are fucking their wives now.
Yeah. So it's a totally different life now. I think that's what's happened.
It probably is.
We've just gotten soft.
Well, yeah. What is the old saying? Hard men make easy times make soft men make hard times.
Yes. Yep. Actually, believe it or not, my brother just told me that like 3 days ago. We were having this again. I have this conversation all the time, and I don't know why, but it's like
because you keep bringing it up.
Every new person I meet, what do you think about the trans agenda? I just gotta make sure you're cool. It's like, remember back in like the 70s and 80s when people would be like, oh, hey, smoke this, are you cool? Oh yeah, man, I'm cool. Where now it's like, hey, you got a dick, let me see. Let me see if
what that
cool.
dick do.
Exactly. It's a totally different time.
Yeah.
It's not dazed and confused anymore. Now it's just confused.
Yeah, it's not. I mean, shoot, I remember like people would go around the corner, like behind dumpsters to smoke weed. Now, like when you walk out of comedy stores and, just out that back door where you normally smoke, you're just boom.
It's horrible.
Oh, like waiting in line in Austin at the mothership.
Yeah.
Like you could. I mean, just everywhere. Like every third person's smoking weed.
Well, I've never smoked weed. I've never done any drugs. Just some, part of, again, like I'm very me in a lot of ways. Everything I do.
Very Indiana.
Well, no, because then I would do meth.
Oh, I just assumed.
He said, oh, no, meth's not a drug,
you don't?
Right?
I assumed your drug of choice, not your gender.
It's kind of the same but different.
Yeah.
But with meth, I mean, I guess it doesn't matter what your gender is because you're gonna suck dick for it.
Yeah, you're gonna know if somebody smokes meth. Like it's very obvious.
It gets bad.
Yeah.
But so I don't do anything like that. And I was at the mothership and at Kill Tony last week. And it's nuts how many people, they're just all passing it around, like I think a homeless dude popped in there too and was like, fuck it, I'll do it.
Yeah.
And they're like, yeah, fuck yeah, and they're like, oh, you're funny as hell. You should be a comedian.
Hey.
And I'm just like, what is happening right now?
That's exactly the point. That's the point of the mothership. Just whatever, man.
Yeah, anything. Yeah, but then have you been on Kill Tony at Mothership?
No, I haven't been on Kill Tony at all. Like I haven't even tried to sign up or anything.
Well, you're gonna find out tonight if you make it. Like if they draw your name, you got to empty your pockets out.
Oh, okay.
Wallet included.
Oh, okay.
Super weird, and I don't know why. Because it's like in the alley, you can piss and shit in front of your peers, but when you go on stage, you better not have anything in your pockets.
Huh.
I'm like, what a weird transition.
Maybe they're just worried about because Tony like riffs on people, right? Sometimes.
Yeah.
I guess they just don't want you to have any kind of projectiles that you could throw at him.
But they changed it because, like, we were literally just watching an episode from where they were still at Vulcan, and there was a guy with, like, bulging pockets, and Tony made fun of him. He's like, this is your second time on here, and I only remember you because of all the shit you have in your sweatpants.
Huh.
And so it's like, what happened? So it's got to be a Joe thing, that he doesn't want to have.
Yeah. I mean, I know, like, I went to an open mic there, and they made me put my phone into this magnet case that you can't open.
Yeah, well, you can.
But, well.
You're not supposed to.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I think it's weird for performers to have because, like, normally I record my stuff.
And they absolutely will not let you.
Yeah. Well, I mean, they also monetize it, and they don't want you recording it and you releasing it, you know.
But you're telling me because I've got my wallet, what kind of fucking wallet do you have? Mine's just leather.
Yeah.
It doesn't have recording devices in it.
Who knows?
Yeah, super weird. And
Joe's into conspiracy theories, too, so he's probably like, you know.
They're all aliens. Yeah, that's why they're coming to the mothership. Yeah, no, for real.
You've got a gun wallet. I know.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I'm just going last week was my first time doing Kill Tone. I didn't get on, but you know, my first time trying at Mothership. And there was like, you'll see tonight, there's this like water that starts to cruise down the alley. And people are like, don't step in that because that's piss.
Nice.
Yeah, they're like the comedians literally will just piss behind a dumpster and like it all starts to. They're like it's like a stream that goes into the streets.
Oh,
and I'm like, well, that makes sense. That's that's why it's called Rainy Street. It's just piss.
Okay, I've heard there's their own environment out there. I didn't know they were creating their own ecology too.
Well, they're into recycling.
Oh, that's nice.
So they just drink it and piss it right back into the.
This
ecosystem.
fish smells like piss. What's it? I've been fishing in this river for 3 days. I've only caught tuberculosis.
And gonorrhea. Yeah, no, that's you can kayak.
There's a lot of blood in this water.
Yeah. I don't think I'd even want to pull my wiener out back there because I'm sure that there's some airborne shit that's gonna swim in.
Yeah,
and it's not a long swim for me, so it's
you might want to wear a condom just in your pants. It's like you're going to the Amazon.
I'll just fill it up and tie it off.
It's gonna be like a homeless catfish that swims up your pee out there. I got a tight five.
No, I don't. Anything can happen because, like, do you hang out in Austin, in downtown Austin much?
No, like that's one place I've historically just never went to because it was like before Rogan moved in. Austin was notorious for having like 1,500 open mics.
Oh, really?
But
okay.
all of them were no audience.
That makes sense.
So you were literally doing, even though you did like 5 mics a night, you would do the same mic in front of the same other open micers that aren't listening to you.
Right.
Everywhere you went. So it was like, I mean, unless you need practice on a microphone and, you know, just working your shit out, it's not.
Yeah, and I mean, I would say that it's probably still very similar to that, unless you're getting on, you know, Mothership or Kill Tony or something like that. And now, the Sunset Strip Club opened. Did you see that?
Yeah, that's
one?
like right next door, right?
Yeah,
or like right across the street.
Yep. Yeah. And so I went with Chris Ward. Shout out to Chris Ward last week. And after Kill Tony, we went over to Sunset Strip, and we signed up. At the, you know, like he walked over there and signed up as soon as signups happened, and we were number 55.
Oh wow!
Yeah, I think he was 54. I was 55, and we waited till like 11:45. Still never got on.
Damn.
Yeah, and it's a bottomless mic.
Okay, I was about to say he was talking about some kind of bottomless mic.
Yeah,
and
like people signed up in the hundreds, and it's like no fucking way.
Yeah, but don't you get like 3 minutes?
Yeah.
Okay, just doing the math on 100 people, 3 minutes apiece, that's 300 minutes.
Yeah.
How many hours is that?
Yeah, that's 40 minutes shy of 4 hours.
Right.
Yeah.
And the place isn't open 24/7.
Yeah, I know, exactly.
You should just know at a certain point that.
Yep. Yeah, no one else can sign up.
Yeah.
Yeah, and because like I've seen mics where it's like, okay, all these people are signed up, and then it's like, all right, hits 11 o'clock, and like we're done. And it's like, wait, I just sat here for 3 hours, and you guys didn't cap it, but now it's 11 o'clock, and you're done.
Yeah.
Like, and now I just go home. I've wasted all of my evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's shitty.
That's comedy. That's the life of a comedian that hasn't made it. That's exactly what it is.
Well, that's what's funny too, because like the people don't see this side of it, right? People see us on stage and we
the
post
eating
the pictures
shit side of it,
right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And so I was talking to another comic, Doug Allen. I don't know if you know him or not, but he was like, yeah, this is, kind of, he had a little lawn chair and, he had, I think, a big old monster and a sandwich and was eating, next to the dumpster there in the alley. And I was like, how often do you do this? And he's like, I do it pretty often, And I was like, so you just sit in the alley and wait to get on? And he's like, yeah. Just like the other 300 people here. And it's like, that's nuts. Like, nobody is talking about how you literally go to cast, because it's essentially a casting call.
Right.
You're just hoping you get picked. And just sit there and wait and watch your fellow comedians, shit on the fucking sidewalk or piss themselves or whatever. And you're just like, this is the grind.
Yeah.
This is what it's about.
And then going back and watching the people that do get picked, and you see them just... I didn't have any jokes.
Right.
Like, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, what are you doing right now? Yeah, no, and that's...
You're not on YouTube, are you? Can you cuss on this?
Oh, yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, you can say whatever
Oh,
you
that's
want.
right. You're not monetized. You're not
Right,
going to
yeah,
get demonetized.
No. Please, if you want to...
There goes that sweet beer Venmo money.
Wait, he said, fuck.
I'm never having Ryan on here again. Cost me $20, that motherfucker.
No, the shit gets real deep on here sometimes. I've had some really aggressive things where people are like, I probably shouldn't have said that. You think you can clip that out? And I'm like, absolutely fucking not.
Yeah.
Like, don't say it next time, Like, if you don't want it, like, out in the world, just don't say it.
Or just own it.
Yeah, exactly.
That's another thing, like, when you're doing comedy, like, if you're ever... I don't want to say unsure about a bit, but if you think it goes a little hard in the paint, you have to go hard in the paint.
Oh, absolutely.
You can't throw it out very timid like.
No, because people are going to call your bluff on it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or they're going to just think that you mean it.
Yeah.
I mean, just like
time
you're
I
just
do.
making a statement.
Right. Anyway, the Jew should all die, right? You're like, huh?
Okay.
What?
Yeah.
Like,
He's probably got a swastika on his back. I can see it. And?
Yeah. Was there a point to this? Nah, just, PSA.
Meeting at the pizza joint afterwards. Just letting y'all know.
No salami on this pizza. But, yeah, exactly. So I have several jokes that can be very, like, off-colored.
Yeah.
And I, like my wife, like, just an example, it's not a joke, so I can say it. I was doing this bit about my parents being dead and stuff, and I was at a club, and there were soldiers all up front. And I said, statistically speaking, one of you is going to kill yourself tonight, and they loved it, because they've got dark sense of humor and everything.
Right.
And my wife was like, why the fuck would you say that? Like, because that is true. I was like, well, yeah. That's why. That's why I said it, because it's true.
Yeah.
Like, they know it's true. Like, they're aware of the statistics.
Right.
They still chose to go. So if you go up there and you're just like, nah, this is how it is, and like it's you be about it and you don't just talk about it, I think makes a huge difference.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, if you or try to say something in passing just to be cute or whatever that you want to say off color, don't.
Yeah.
Just don't say it.
Yeah, like don't just casually drop the N-word and then just move past.
Or ever, if I was just, I've always found that a good rule of thumb there, Alex. I know I've been doing this a little bit longer than you. It's casually, formally,
Yeah, I grew up in Indiana. Yeah. Everyone was saying it. No, so with comedy, like, so was that bit that you just did on Wednesday, was that a new bit?
Yeah.
Okay, so hilarious, right? I would say best set of the night. But you always do things that are more personal, right? You don't get too...
Right, what you know.
Of course.
Right,
of course.
all of my 90% of my comedy is based on a true story.
Yes.
Yeah.
As is because you're a storyteller,
right.
much like myself. But I feel like I still get very... I don't know. I can rub people the wrong way, and I haven't seen anything of yours that can rub people the wrong way.
Oh, I can rub them the wrong way. But I think a lot of that was when I was younger too.
Yeah,
and I think it was just me learning, because I would do wild shit, but I wasn't real confident yet in it.
Right. And it just kind of like what we're saying is if people, they're like, nah, he's just doing that to do it.
Yeah.
They don't like it.
Exactly.
Yeah. So I didn't know if that was something that it was by design that you were like, oh, because I don't want to give away your joke, but like it was still very, it was sexual, right? Which can still rub people the wrong way because it can be aggressive in ways that, like certain people don't like to talk about that, and you get very visual with your jokes. But I didn't know if you like skipped certain topics, like because you were like, no, it's just whatever you find funny.
Pretty much.
Yeah.
Like if you can, I mean, that's our job.
Of course.
Like you're supposed to make people forget, their problems.
Yeah.
And, make fun of shit. Like, people in wheelchairs.
Yeah.
If they're at the show, make fun of them.
Yeah, you're not going to walk out on me.
Like it's almost more offensive to ignore that person in the wheelchair.
Right. See,
other than just adding them into the show, like
yes.
Like, oh, I'm just gonna pretend like you're not here.
Right.
Like,
Yeah. And so that's a great point that I've never discussed on here. That sometimes people try and be so inclusive they become excluded.
Exactly.
And it's like that is still a problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like I had I'm trying to think of this one time. So I don't remember who it was, but I called somebody out for like it wasn't in a wheelchair, but and my wife is kind of like my what is that, PR, public relations?
Yes.
And she's like, probably don't do that again, but like if I see something like that, I try and address it. I don't make fun of them, but I try and address the facts, so then that way they do realize that like, hey, just because you have some sort of like uncomfortable situation, like you're still here too,
right?
And like I feel like that is unjust when people do, they just ignore it, or else they will. I've had people cut jokes because they're like, oh, there's someone in a wheelchair here, and one of my jokes has that, and I don't want them to. And it's like that's their life every fucking day. Mm-hmm. I'm sure they're aware of it. They don't wake up and pop out of bed and be like, oh, fucking fell again.
Yeah.
Like they know. So like whenever you try and
they've probably had their whole life people walking on eggshells around them, like, oh, I'm so sorry. Oh, do you need help with this?
Yes,
or
exactly.
Treating them differently than everybody else. And that one night, if you could be that comedian that just made them feel like everybody else, that for one night they forgot they were in a wheelchair.
Yeah. And it just felt like another person in the room.
Exactly.
Yeah, absolutely. And that is one thing that is very hard. I mean, you saw my post today, right? About like what is the job of a comedian?
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
Like how do you see it? And like I had so many people being like, you got to be funny, like dickhead. Of course, like
my answer was the best.
Yes, absolutely.
The true job of a comedian is Uber Eats driver. That's
100%. Yes, or live at home son.
Yeah.
So
kept man.
That's I'm a trophy husband.
Yeah,
that is my job.
You're not the first I've met that does comedy as a trophy husband.
Yeah. People are like, what do you have to offer your wife? And then I don't know if you saw my clip that I just posted from Scott Woodcop's.
No, I saw it. I didn't get a chance to watch it yet.
So I have this,
you were doing that weird thing with your throat.
That special skill. That people are like, what does she like about you? That is it. The one quality. The rest of it, she's like,
Yeah, there's not a machine around there that can do that.
Well, yeah, but
she could buy with all of her money she's making.
It's so bad. It's like today I was like, I think I'm going to buy a T-shirt. And she was like, why? And I was like, because it's Ozzy put out a new T-shirt. And she's like, that's stupid. And I'm like, yeah, but you can afford it. You'll be fine.
At least you're a man about it. You're like, I'm buying a T-shirt. And not like, excuse me, there's this nice T-shirt I really want.
Do you like it too?
I'll do the dishes if I can have a T-shirt. Come on. It's Ozzy.
That's what's so bad too. Like, do the dishes. Like, we just got, when we moved into this house, it has a dishwasher, and she's like, "Man, I can't wait to have a dishwasher." And I'm like, "Girl, I've had a dishwasher our entire relationship.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? Like, it means nothing to me. Like, I'm just
every time my wife gets sick, I tell people my dishwasher's broke.
Right. Exactly. Exactly. And like, I'm such a piece of shit that I'm just like, I don't know what she sees in me. She's just trying to, she's hoping that this pays off. So guys, again, if you could help my wife take some pressure off of her. She told me yesterday, she's like, I could probably get another job, a second job. And I was like, yeah, you probably could.
Yeah, you probably should.
This comedy's getting real expensive.
That other one you got really ain't hacking it. Come on.
Double up, girl. Come on now.
Shit, you could do 3.
Right? I believe in you. But if this shit ever pays off, because like her boss is like, oh, because she does a lot of my booking and stuff like that, and her boss is like, yeah, as you guys continue to grow, you're gonna have to find someone else to do that job for him. And she's just like, fuck, I'm hoping that I can quit doing this job and just make money off of him.
Hey, that'll be nice.
Yeah, but little does she know, we make like $30 a show.
Well, I mean, later on when the jokes come and all these people start sending in $20 a pop.
I can see the numbers, people. On average,
do better, people. Do better.
On average, I get 10 views an episode. So if each one of you give me $10, that's $100. That's half of my wife's shift.
Make it a pyramid scheme, and you need to find 10 people to also send him $10. He will send you $1 of that $10 back.
I'll give you $2. I'll double it. We'll give you $2 of their 10. Oh man, that would be a great scheme.
Great pyramid scheme just to get donations.
I wonder if we could figure that out with ticket sales.
However, if you brought 10 people, you got your ticket free or something?
Right, exactly. And then if they do, they get their ticket free, and then I give you $2.
That would work to a point.
Yeah, I mean, I'm not good at math, so
yeah,
I feel like
eventually you just run out of room.
Yeah, and I'm just paying people to be there. Like, I brought everyone.
Yeah. I sold this bitch out. It cost me $4,000. I don't think I'm doing this right.
Yeah.
That's why she takes care of the money.
Yeah. She literally just tells me where to go. She's like, be here at this time.
You did what, Alex? No, I mean, me and Ryan had it figured out. It sounded great.
It'd be great. Like, this is a pyramid scheme.
Give me your debit card right now. Give me your debit card.
Fuck it, give me your credit card. Let's have a bigger balance. Oh. Yeah, no, that's why people are like, oh, you gotta be, it's a business.
Yeah.
It's your brand. And I'm like, yeah, I fucking know that. Why do you think it's failing?
Exactly. I'm a failed business. Yeah. This is why most businesses go bankrupt in 6 months.
Yes. Like, I had a guy when we first moved here, I bought that desk off of a guy, and it came up that I was a comedian, whatever. Mm-hmm. And he was like, oh, well, what you should do, because he was a finance guy, and he was like, what you should do is spend 2 years doing it and write down your cost and, like your profit and all of this stuff. And he's like, after 2 years, you look at it, you reevaluate, and if it's not working, just pick a different career. And I was like, well, fuck. If that was the case, I should have quit a long time ago.
Yeah, that's not how comedy works.
Yeah, but financial perspective, absolutely. I've failed every day.
Yeah, I would have quit like 10 times already if that was the case.
Yeah, I literally, we'll go down to a mic or something, and, it's free. You don't get paid for mics. If you guys think that we get paid for mics, you're fucking wrong.
Or shows.
Yeah, or shows most of the time. And, I'll end up spending money. Like, we went down to Austin to, where the Vulcan is, mm-hmm. On the other side of the street, a place called Poor Choices, and I got paid like $40 to be there. My car got towed for $250.
Nice.
Yeah, and I bought beer while I was there.
Yeah.
So I was like, this was a horrible night. This was a horrible decision. But that's comedy.
That is.
Well,
that show I was talking to you about in Colorado,
uh-huh.
It's going to be a 12-hour drive. By the time gas and food and if we have to stay at a hotel or whatever, you're coming back with maybe what you made off of merch.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
And then you do it again.
Yeah.
You're just like, woo, yeah. That was great.
Exactly. Yeah, no, Charlie Mack, he's another friend of mine. I don't know if you've met him down there. He just sent me, he's written children's books. But
me too.
Oh, okay. Well, that's awesome. I didn't know that. Let's put the link on here. But so that way so he can sell them at his shows.
Yeah.
And so I told him, because he was paying outrageous prices for them, and I was like, this is a better way to do it, because I have a ton of merch, so I'm like, I figured out the ways to do this shit as cheap as possible. So he texted me today, and he was like, hey, man, I got these new books. Thank you so much, whatever. And this is what I have invested in them, and this is what I can sell them for. And I was like, do that, and that's where you're going to make money. You're not going to make money off of your fucking shows. You're going to make money off of your merch.
Exactly.
So that's why you have to figure out, how can I get the best fucking profit margin, which you guys, this just became a business meeting.
It did.
Yeah. But this is
welcome to Making Money on the Road. This is our TED Talk.
Yeah. This is the inner workings of being a comedian that I feel like most people and podcasts, they don't talk about it. They're just talking about the fun stuff and banging all the hookers afterward.
There's none of those either.
No,
like
there's
I've
not.
I've been doing this off and on since 1999.
Okay.
The last 7 years, really hard at it.
Yeah.
Never seen a chuckle bunny at all.
Never once?
No.
See, I got hit on one time from comedy, and it was down in Austin, and I had just gotten off stage, and a girl was like, oh, what do you come around here? Literally, she's like, you come around here often? And I was like, this is my first time, like I might be back, whatever. And she's like, oh, well, where's your next show at? I'd love to come. And so like I could see where it was going. So I was like, oh, me and my wife produce shows. And she's like, oh, you're married. I'm so sorry I was coming on to you, whatever. And I was like, you're good. Like I just trying to be polite, like about it. And I was like, I think she was hitting on me, and then the next week somebody was like, oh man, there was this girl down at Anderson Mill and she was hitting on me. And I was like, does she look like this? And they're like, yeah. And I was like, that bitch made me think that I was special.
She was just looking for a place to stay.
This
guy looks like he's got a house.
Yeah, and I was like, man, that was supposed to be like my claim to fame. I got hit on one time, and then she just hits on everyone, and I'm like, all right, I'm just another fucking piece of shit comedian.
Oh god, yeah. I mean, I've worked with very famous people, and even after their shows, it's not like being a rock star.
Yeah, no.
Like, I mean, I'm sure the very, very, like, Chappelle probably gets, tail thrown at him all the time.
We know Kevin Hart does.
Oh, yeah. But other than that,
yeah.
It's not,
yeah.
It's not the glamorous life you think it is,
Yeah, nobody's like, oh, you said you have a tiny pee-pee. Let me see it.
Yeah.
Well, I guess you were telling the truth.
Yeah.
Like, that does not happen. My wife sometimes would be like, it's not that small. And I'd be like, thanks,
It's
girl.
proportional.
Right? Yeah, exactly.
Like, if you saw me naked, you wouldn't be like, that's a tiny dick on that tiny man. You'd be like, no. That's a man, and his penis looks like it belongs on him.
Right. Well, and then I've got little hands, though, so I just pop it in my hand, and you're like, that thing's huge.
Yeah.
Because, like, how big are your hands?
Oh, probably the size of yours.
Are they?
Yeah.
Jesus.
I have tiny hands.
Yeah. So
Come on. Let's finish this show the way we started it. Bud Light forever.
I forgot what couch we were on for a minute. But no, like I don't know at what stage that happens, Like, does somebody have to see you like 4 or 5 times until they're like, all right, I'd fuck this guy?
I have no idea.
Yeah.
Nobody's seen me enough. When it happens, I'll let you know.
I get hit on by like old women.
Yeah, I mean, I've been approached and talked to by drunk women that I wouldn't sleep with if so it's
if you were that drunk.
Yeah. So it's just like being at a bar at that
Yeah.
point, and you maybe did a really good karaoke song or something.
Right. Are you Bon Jovi?
Yeah.
Like,
No.
just his nephew. Let me fuck some of that.
If you've got standards, there's no chuckle bunnies. But if you don't have standards, woo!
We'll see.
The tail you could get on the road.
So Gary Spragg, you know Gary really well. Shout out to Gary. That dude fucks a lot.
After shows? Because of shows? Or fucks a lot?
I don't know. I mean, he hasn't even told me if they're awake for it. I just know that he fucks a lot.
Hey.
So, whatever the situation, I don't know if it's because of his comedy, or if maybe they saw his comedy, they would be like, oh man, I made a mistake. Or, you know what I mean? But like,
maybe if I fuck him, he'll shut up. I don't know.
They're always like, put this in your mouth.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I don't know. Like, I think is that a goal to get to the point?
I guess like some guys probably. I mean, not for me, but
not too but like to get to a place where it's like, yeah, like I'm obviously somewhere that girls, like they want me to be on their roster,
right?
You know? Like you'd fuck Tom Brady, right?
No, I'd fuck his ex-wife.
Yeah, but I mean, she doesn't have the clout.
Money.
She's got more.
Giselle
money.
Doesn't have clout. She was a supermodel.
No, not as much as he does, though.
Oh well, I mean, if you're like Ryan Reynolds, I'd probably give him a couple rounds.
Right. Okay. So, but because you want to have that name at the top of your roster, right?
Yeah.
So I want to get to the point where my name would be worth being at the top of a roster.
Yeah, but these people also look like supermodels.
What, I don't?
I know you're trying. You're working out. You're trying.
Yeah,
but
can't you see that?
It's like no matter how famous you get, you still look like you. And I still look like me. Don't get it twisted. So it's not like...
Yeah.
You need to get so famous they're fucking you for the fame.
Right, that's what I mean.
Yeah, it's not nothing to do with you.
Yeah.
Personally.
No,
yeah.
No. Yeah, it's literally
it's
just
not like you
your
can look
clout.
yourself at the mirror and be like, yeah, I knew I could pull that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If I wasn't funny, she'd still fuck me.
You're looking at her sleeping in the bed like, it's a good thing I'm fucking famous because this wouldn't have happened last year. I can tell you that right now.
I gave her the best 4 minutes of her
Yeah.
life. She did not make a single noise.
Thank God for NDAs. Oh my God.
Yeah, no, that's. I feel like that has to be a goal though, is to get that famous. Doesn't mean you're gonna fuck them, but you want, or they
just want to know.
That
For your ego. Is that what you're saying? You just want to know you could have any woman.
I don't
in this
have
room.
a big stature, so I have to have a big ego.
Oh, okay.
You know what I mean? I don't. We're polar opposites here.
It very. I am super anti-meth.
We know that's a bullshit lie. Sometimes Ryan's like, and this tooth I lost.
Look at me. Do I look like I do meth?
Does it look like I do meth, grew up in a trailer park, or fuck my cousin? Yes. All three.
I look like I freebase sugar, not meth.
No, you can do meth and still be hefty.
Can you?
Absolutely.
Oh,
are you shooting
I've never
or
met
smoking?
anybody.
Oh, would you like to meet my Aunt Carrie?
Oh, she's fat as fuck
and smokes meth all the time.
That's commitment to being fat then, because
but so here's the thing though, it's if you're shooting meth, right, you're getting real fucked up. But if you're smoking meth, I think you just kind of get fucked up.
Oh,
so
okay.
I think she just rides the highs, where she used to, like, she was rail, look like that, not black, but
meth made her fat.
No, when she was banging meth, when she was shooting meth, she looked like this.
Oh.
But then when she got out of prison, it just started smoking it again.
She got out of prison?
Yeah.
That's always a good story. And when she got out of prison, woo!
Yeah. Well, I asked her one time, I was like, Carrie, did you sober up in prison? She's like, fuck no, I did more drugs in prison than I did.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, wow, like, that's interesting. And I was like, so what happened? And she's like, well, like, I tell jokes and stuff about this, but like, she literally, she has no teeth, meth tends to do that to you. And one time she was like, yeah, I lost all my teeth because, I was working in the graveyard because in prison you can get jobs to make money to, buy shit. So she's like, I was working in the graveyard and I, walking around, step on a rake, it comes up and slaps me in the mouth and knocks all my teeth out, and I was like, okay, are you sure it wasn't a sugar rake? Because, I was a little kid. And her brother was like, no, it was a meth rake. Yep.
Yeah, unless that rake weighed 2,000 pounds.
Yes.
If it knocked them out, it's because they were all fucking loose already.
Well, that's what's nuts. Like, I remember because she would kind of like, she's always been, homeless, like just bouncing around. And, and there were times where she would come and like live with my mom for a little bit, which, like my mom did meth and stuff too. So they would be good together for a while. Then, like, I don't know if sibling rivalry or what would happen, but then they would get mad at each other and take off. And, like,
Mom, she's smoking my meth.
Yeah, exactly. So I remember one time Carrie was at our house and we had a mirror hanging in the dining room, and it was like up high mirror. It was just like, I couldn't see it because it was so high. But I remember Carrie getting on a fucking chair, pulling a chair from the table, getting a razor blade, and she made some little like shiv thing out of like the end of a toothbrush or something, and like cutting a tooth out because the tooth was dying.
Oh.
And she like gave herself a fucking root canal.
Damn.
But like she was numbed from the meth, you know, like I think she just rubbed it on her gums and she was good.
You didn't see that in the drug commercials in the 80s. That would have worked.
Yes. This is you
Fuck
on
that
drugs.
DARE program.
Yeah.
Get a homeless meth lady cutting a tooth out with a razor blade. That'll straighten you right up. I don't even drink no more. I don't even like caffeine.
Yeah, I mean, I guess I never really put it into perspective that like, that's what she. But I remember watching it and just being like, "This is nuts."
Wow, that would be.
Yeah, I mean, but so like meth is a weird drug, you know, just from what I've seen, and like, cause she used to. Do you remember there was that painting, you know, it's called The Scream?
Yeah.
You know, and so if you look at it, it's all red, like around the mouth. And she used to look like that all the time because when she would be like real fucked up, she would like sit and, you know, the mirrors where like one side is like normal, the other one is like zoomed in. So she would have one of those with like a light on it, and she would pluck every fucking little hair out of her face until she was like bleeding.
Damn.
And it's like that's what meth does to you.
I know they give you meth bugs. Have you ever heard of those?
No.
Like meth, when it goes through your body, like your body can't do anything with meth, so it just wants to expel it.
Okay.
So what it does is it comes out of your pores in what we call meth bugs.
Okay, like little crystallized.
Yeah, like crystals, because it's literally not organic.
Do they smoke them again?
Yes.
Do they?
Yes. So you see people with sores and shit all over their face?
Yeah.
They would pick them,
okay,
put them in a little aluminum foil thing, and when they got enough meth bugs out, smoke it again.
Jesus, man. Seeing the sodium mixed with the meth, I'm sure that
Don't give a fuck about sodium and the cholesterol you get from meth. Don't get me started. What the fuck is the sodium? Yeah, that's the worst thing about meth. God. What the fuck? That is the worst anti-drug commercial.
You know how much sodium.
You know how much sodium is in that?
Kids, don't do meth. Your arteries will clog.
Just I take Lipitor. Why? Because I'm on meth.
I gotta balance all this salt out. No, when I was in like 3rd grade, and they took us to the high school, and they were like, "Kids, this is how you make meth." And they put hazmat stuff on, and they were like on the stage in the auditorium, we're like making meth on stage, and they were like, if you see your parents doing this, call someone, call this number, call your grandma, call all these people. And I was like, bitch, my grandma's doing it too.
Holy shit!
I'm like,
so like you recognize shit? Damn.
Yeah, I was like, absolutely. I was like, I looked around because I thought Carrie was gonna be there to try and steal some afterwards.
Where's my aunt? She's normally in this laboratory.
I didn't know she acted in this too. Yeah, no, like Carrie literally like one time got arrested for like stealing from Goodwill.
Wow.
I mean, that's bottom of the barrel.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That's another thing you see, you know, with like die-hard drug dealers or not drug dealers, but drug users,
consumers.
Yeah, it's just you see people trying to sell you like used shoes.
Yeah.
You know, not even matching shoes. Just you know, it's.
Man, and again, it's all part of this huge joke that I have. One time,
please tell me sodium is the punchline.
You know how much sodium is in it? I'm gonna rewrite it all.
I want that Splenda meth. Give me. I can't believe it's not salt. I need some.
It just tastes so different.
You can put it on your oranges. It's nice.
meth was unhealthy. I didn't know how unhealthy until now.
Yeah, I didn't. I mean, I was in the police academy, and I got to actually see, shit on the streets. And,
yeah.
I
Did they let you try the stuff?
No.
Like how you
we had drug day.
Yeah, but like how they pepper spray you, right? And it's like you gotta feel it to use it, and it's like you gotta smoke it to find it.
No, that was not. Thank God, because my cholesterol's already high. I couldn't have handled any of that meth.
I would have OD'd on salt right there. But no, the meth. I would say if you're into crack, the hard stuff, it's definitely they love to give you gifts and stuff, and it's always used stuff. Like Carrie was living in Atlanta one time. It was Christmas. We were driving through, going to Florida, and we were like, "We'll stop and see Carrie." And she's like, "I got all these gifts for you." And I was like, "All right, that's cool." So we get there, and she's like, "I got to crawl through the window. We don't have power in the house. Like it's one of those things, and like
the landlord locked me out.
Yeah. And no one's paying the bill. I lost my keys.
Yeah.
And literally true story. And she comes out, and she's like, "We got you all this stuff." And I was like, all right, she's like, open it. And I was like, bitch, it's in a plastic bag. Like, yeah, I'm going to get to it,
Yeah.
And so I start pulling things out, and it's like stained up T-shirt, but it's got Superman on it. So she's like, oh, you're going to love it. And I was like, I'd love it if it didn't have blood on it. Right. And then, like,
I love semen stains on my clothes.
Exactly. Is that salt? And then I pull out
the 10 people that don't watch this show are not going to know what the fuck we're talking about when we see each other in public. Looking a little salty today.
They're going to be so confused. Yes. But then I pull out, it was like a silverware set, but it was only spoons. And she's like, that's real silver. And I was like, oh, that's cool. She's like, if you're ever in a bad spot, you can melt it down and sell the silver. And I was like, Carrie, you live in a crack house. I'm on vacation. You are in a bad spot. Like, why are you giving me used fucking silverware as a Christmas gift?
I would have taken the silver personally. I'm
going to go with it probably. It said made in China.
Oh.
I don't think it was real silver.
This silver's called stainless steel. I hear that's the best kind.
Yeah, and like that's what's so strange.
Did the spoons have burn marks on the bottom?
Yeah, it's like I could tell she started melting them down already.
Fucking residue spoons.
Just little salt deposits all over the top.
Yeah, I saw enough of that shit to not even want.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, I think that's the best. Like you see people that are like diehard not really anti-drug, but pretty clean living. They had fucked up childhoods.
Yeah.
Like, that's usually me with alcohol. Like, I can't stand drunks.
Yeah.
I drink.
Right, for sure.
But I would never hit alcohol hard because of what I saw growing up.
Yeah. I feel like, so, like seeing my mom on all that stuff, like, and Carrie, like, we lived with Carrie on and off, like, because she would always, like, be stable for, like, 6 months, and then she would get back into the shit,
So you knew when she fell off the wagon.
Oh, absolutely.
Yeah.
I know now, and, like, we'll have conversations, and I'll be like, Carrie, I know you're fucked up because I haven't heard from you in a year.
Yeah.
She's like, no, what happened was my phone got stolen, and I'm like, bitch, you're fucking high. Like, we're adults. We can talk about it,
Right.
But, so... like we were really little, I don't know, probably 2nd, 3rd grade, and I think that was the first time I had ever seen weed, like in person. She had this little porcelain little box that you could take the top off, and it had a bunch of little roaches in there. And so me and my brother, we created this song, and if I would have to think about it, but it was to the Cats in the Cradle. But it was like the chronic and
salty roaches.
No, it was the chronic in the chest and the rolling papers. When you're gonna smoke me, I don't know when. Yeah, so we created this song, and so like we always knew what it was, you know. And it's like, but then whenever I found out that like my mom was on it and everything, and I was like, I'll never touch it, like zero interest at all, because I've got Crohn's disease, and people are like, you can smoke weed and it will help with Crohn's, and I was like, yeah, I could also do a lot of other things that I could suck dick, and it would help with my protein intake, but like It's okay.
Shout out to Chris Ward.
He gets that protein straight from the tap.
He's going to be like, guys, they don't know what I was talking about. That was way out of context.
Taken way out of context. He said, I need to get my protein up and my sodium down.
Now he's salty.
Oh, sorry, Chris. Man, this has been very educational with the math. I hope you guys are following along, because these are the things when you're a comedian. We talk about things that you may not understand, but you have to learn, because you don't want to go through life and society not knowing that meth is so high in sodium. You know?
The Surgeon General warning on meth. If you were pregnant or become pregnant.
Please limit your table salt if you're consuming methamphetamine.
Oh, man. My brother was on it real bad. And I don't know, have you ever had any like weird phone calls that you just didn't understand what the fuck was going on from her?
Yeah. He
called me one time, and he was always asking for money. That's like I knew he needed drugs because he was calling for money, and it was always gas money.
Okay, yeah, that makes sense.
I was like, yeah, you're gassing up all right.
Yeah, right, yeah.
I know what's wrong with it. Ain't no gas in it. I know what's wrong with it. Ain't got no meth in it. But yeah, he called me and he was like, yeah, man, I'm washing my truck at the car wash with my toothbrush because the FBI's watching me, man. Like, I know they're watching me, so if they're going to watch me, I slowly wash my truck with a toothbrush. I was like, okay.
Yep.
And then he'd be like, I walked into the CIA office and I told them, I'm right here. Y'all don't have to watch me. I'm right here. I was like, all right, brother.
Yeah, right on.
And this is how you're going to end the conversation, that I need money for gas?
Yeah. No, like, so you haven't been around for my meth bits that I was working on for a while. So I tell this story. The true story was around Christmas time. Again, Carrie was in Atlanta. And I get these pictures, and Carrie always has a phone but never has a phone, you know, like, oh, it got stolen, I lost it, whatever. But so I get these pictures of Carrie tied to a bed naked, literally, and it says, Carrie's been kidnapped. We need $200.
Seriously?
Oh, absolutely. And it went to me, it went to my brother, it went to my wife, and like, so only the people that were doing well.
Wow.
Yeah, so my wife freaks out, and she's like, oh, we got to help her. And I was like, the bitch is trying to scam us. So my wife, it's the day before Christmas Eve. She's on the phone and with the fucking police department. Or no, she was in Jacksonville at this point, sorry. Uh-huh. And with Jacksonville PD, and they're like, we're going to find her, this and that. And like, they kept shutting the phone off, and they would like ping it, you know, like every time that they would send a text. And so they finally found the location within, you know, like 2 blocks or something like that. So they were patrolling the area, and they found her walking. And so the cops were like, hey, what's going on here? And she was like, oh, I was kidnapped, this and that. And they were like, well, show us your phone, because he's reaching out to people, you know, so we'll fucking find him, because I'm sure he's made some phone calls to other people and whatever. And she's like, no. And we're like, why, Carrie? Why would you say no? And she's like, well, because, you know, I've done a lot of illegal stuff on there, and then they'll arrest me for that and not the guy who kidnapped me. And I was like, all right, girl. I had my fucking doubts to begin with, but now, like, and the police were like, we don't know what to do. We have to just let it go. We have to close the case. Yeah. And we're like, yeah, of course, because it was a fucking scam. But it's like, so I have a joke about, you know, like how $250, like, really? Like, that seems awfully low. It's good. It just
okay.
But we're like, that seems awfully low, you know, like for the price of a human. But, you know, maybe it's, you know, for the price of
for
a
bag of meth.
Yeah, it kind of goes down a little bit.
Yeah, like his gas prices, it was always like one hit of crack.
Yeah,
just happened to be.
Yeah, it's like you got like
whatever the street value of crack was.
$7.
Yeah.
Like, wait, what? Yeah. He's like, I need a gallon and a half of gas.
It's not gonna get you anywhere.
He's like, well, give me from this Walmart to that Walmart.
Yeah.
What?
Oh, yeah, it was always some kind of wild excuse. But, yeah, it got to the point where I had to call the Fort Worth Police Department, the jail, and just ask if they had him.
Oh, really?
Because my mom was worried. I wasn't worried because, you know, after a while, I was just like,
you get numb to it.
Yeah, you do, and it's sad, but if you don't get numb to it, then they're gonna drive you fucking crazy.
Yeah, it'll eat you alive and drain your fucking accounts. And
exactly.
Yeah, you have to just be like, whatever. I'll see you when I see you.
Because they don't give a fuck about you having a family or you have bills or you have anything.
They just care about that salt rock.
Yeah, they want that salt lick.
I've got a salt lamp, and we had to put it away because every time Carrie came over, she'd lick it. He's like, oh, it brings me back.
She's out there in the pasture with the cows. We just dropped some salt blocks off. I don't know what the fuck she's doing. Seems to enjoy it, though. Headbutting the fucking cows out of the way.
Keeps her fed.
That's why she lost them teeth.
It's the salt content, damn it.
Oh.
Well, so we finished this out with a random question. We have a bunch of questions that were submitted. If you guys want to ask a question, ask it in the comments, wherever. My fucking voice is going because I'm laughing so hard. Jesus. But so we just, it's a random question by, whoever. So just answer it. We just want to see kind of, like the mind of a comedian. So this is going to be, if you worked at a carnival or circus, what would your job be?
Dude, I am so glad you asked that question. No, this is going to freak you out, though.
Okay.
When I was 3 years old, do you believe in past lives?
Maybe.
Okay. My grandpa told me this, and he's just an old cowboy. He's not like a, meth head that's going to lie to me. He was the straight influence of my life.
My brother told me this one
time. If my brother told me, I'd be like, fuck you. So anyway, my grandpa told me when I was 3 years old, I sat him down, and I told him that I used to be a circus strongman. And I described the outfit, the suspenders with no shirt. I had a bald head. I had an earring. I worked in a carnival. And he was like, holy shit. You just perfectly. And, I had never seen that. We didn't have TV. We didn't have, it was no, I was just, regurgitating something I saw.
Right, yeah.
He was like, you freaked me out. And I was like, oh. So the answer to your question is carnival barker. I would love to be. Because I've already been a strong man.
Well, maybe you're going to be the bearded lady.
Yeah.
I mean, you could do that in this life.
Yeah, and then I could, hold the Bud Light up and full circle.
That is what we
pour
call
a little salt on it. Full circle.
That is a callback, people. That was perfectly executed. But no, thank you so much for being here. I hope you had fun. I had a blast. I think my voice is gone right now more than it has been on any episode.
You're welcome.
Yeah. It was the meth.
It was the meth. It burns the Adam's apple that's really sticking out.
The salt dries your throat out.
That's why it's swollen.
But thank you so much. And we're going to put all of your socials down there. You can shout them out, let these guys know where to find you.
Ryan Shields Comedy. Just Google that.
Okay. Wow.
I'm the only Ryan Shields that does comedy.
What a dick. Just Google me.
Yeah. Dude, seriously, Google me.
Oh, you can Google me too, asshole. Okay.
I'm just playing. Now, there's this other cunt out there that there's this Ryan Shields that does really bad Texas comedy. Or Texas country. He's a country singer.
I was going to say, I know. I know that
There's another one out there. It's, surprise, there's more. No, he got RyanShields.com, and I was like, fuck this, man. You're not going anywhere.
Yeah.
Just let the website go.
But yeah, buy it from him.
He still has the domain, and he's still touring. So I have to be RyanShieldsComedy.com.
Yeah. See, so being Alex Cunningham, there's if you Google just Alex Cunningham, my Instagram and stuff pops up, but then so does there's a football player who's a strong side linebacker, and then there's a politician out of England, and it's fuck those people. They are already making money. Let the cream rise to the top.
Yeah, that's why stage names are important, I really think.
Yeah.
I think that's the reason why a lot of people do change their name. Is because it's a lot of it's just to do with recognition and wanting this certain website. You just go and
yeah, make it easier.
Yeah,
but I'd come up with something stupid.
Salty throat,
right? Yeah, they'd be like, "Is this Carrot Top's retarded brother?" But no, thank you so much for being here, and thank you guys for following along. This has been a fucking roller coaster.
Yeah, I'm fucking sweating right now.
I know, but we're gonna go try Kill Tony. So if we get on there, you'll fucking know who we are by in 3 weeks. Okay.
Yeah.
I think we're gonna get on. If not, we're both gonna get off on the ride home.
That's right.
You know, that's what matters. Okay. It's about making connections with your friends.
With women with trash bags. We know she puts out. Get the spoon. Get the spoon.
Wait, is that Carrie? What are you doing in Texas? All right, guys. Thank you so much, and we'll catch you next time.